folks. I've got a Sofirn IF19 to have a look at. It is an unusual, interesting little light. But just before we get to that, it looks as though Sofirn have done a little bit of upgrade with the packaging and the kind of box marketing, is that what we want to call it? Got power lead in there and manual. Suspiciously looks like a box from you may know who. Anyway, let's move that out of the way and have a look at the light itself. Build quality as we'd expect, USB-C charging, and suspiciously looking like, and it is based off the IF22A. I understand this was a really popular light with this kind of TIR lens, and the IF19 kind of follows that. You can see the similarities, can't you? But the same type of lens and the same type of beam profile that we get from the IF22, but in a dinky little size, running off an 18350 battery. A little bit more about the battery in a moment, or particularly the battery life. Let's have a look how the light operates. Really simple, and we've got a couple of options, and it's really easy to flick from one to the other, which is either your smooth ramping mode or your stepped. At the moment, which one am I on? Oh, the light's locked out. I'll come back to that in a moment about that light locking out. So at the moment, we're in our stepped mode. Low, medium and high. Turbo is accessible by a double click, and a single click takes us back to where we were. Another click takes us off. If the light isn't in turbo, one click just takes us back off again. So I really do like that method of operation in particular. Imagine you're kind of wandering around on one of your lower settings, double click to turbo, have a quick look, one click, go back to where you were. Really simple, usable, intuitive interface. There's a lot of the Sofirns coming out like that now, and I really do like it. Jumping now to the ramping, the smooth ramping. When we're in on, it's just 4 clicks. It'll blink there to tell us, and now we're in the ramping mode. The ramping mode is similar to the stepped in that, other than on its max, so if I go all the way up to maximum, and that little blink there that tells me I'm at maximum, it's no good double clicking now because I'm already at its maximum. Whereas if I back off a little bit to somewhere mid-range, double click, then it takes me to its maximum, turbo if you like, and then one click takes me back to where I was. So a similar principle to the stepped mode. You can kind of pick whichever one you prefer. I personally prefer the stepped, but up to yourselves. Now, in terms of this, you saw it was locked out then, didn't you? If you don't use the light for a short period of time, it will lock itself out. And to be honest, I found that a little bit irritating. Because, you just pop it in your pocket, for a minute or so, pull the light out, and it's locked itself. I don't know why they did that. I mean, you can lock it out with the button, or alternatively, I don't know about you, I've got that many lights, I forget half the time what the lockout actually is. So if I want to lock a light out, I'll just twist it slightly, and it's locked. Now, interestingly, when you have done that, just loosened off the tail cap a touch, it doesn't go into the automatic lockout mode. So I've kind of learned to live with it a little bit, but to be honest, I didn't like it. The first few nights I was using it, it's like, what's going on here? I've just put it in my pocket for a short period of time, and I try and turn it on, and I get the blinky error message, thinking I haven't locked it out. Anyway, let's have a look at the manual. As you can see, folks, Sofirn have still got the sale on, £29.99 with an extra 20% off. Okay, and let's have a look at the light and pick out the you know, the bits that we're probably concerned with. You can read the rest of it, can't you, at your leisure? But your highlights there, 2,000 lumens on turbo for such a tiny little light, blooming hell. 461 metre throw. An SST40 in there, battery options, an 18350, we've mentioned that, aluminium alloy, the usual things that we kind of expect from Sofirn, no skimping, water resistant there, mode memory, memorises the blast brightness level, reverse polarity, low battery warning, low voltage protection, advanced temperature regulation, all the things that we want. But I didn't actually mention there is about this kind of lockout thing. Oh, it's there, look. I was rooting around through the manual and kind of reading this backwards and forwards. I thought, well, is there something wrong? But it is there, look. Automatic lockout, 1 minute. Just pausing on this chart here for a second. As you can imagine from a light running off an 18350 little dinky battery like that, with power outputs, you know, on high 1000 turbo 2000, you're not going to get phenomenally long run times. So on your turbo mode, for example, you're going to get 45 minutes. And that is using your turbo once and then it'll back off with its ATR. If you keep on using the turbo, which I have, you're really going to eat into that 45 minutes and take it, you know, down a lot less. So keep that in mind in terms of the, you know, the expectations from such a small battery with the 18350. So let's take the light out and have a look and see what it can do. So we're out with the Sofirn IF19. Let me put a picture in of where I am. I'm on the low mode, really simple operation, medium and high. It's immediately apparent, isn't it, that this is a little mini thrower. Tiny little thing, putting out a concentrated beam of light like that, and then turbo. And still looking around, you know, a reasonable amount of spill. I mean, it's obvious now, isn't it, from the get-go, it is a really good little performer, and on its high, you know, that is pretty impressive. Again, plenty of spill. Turbo. And this type of area they're in at the moment doesn't usually suit your throwy type lights. So I'll take it to a different spot and put a little bit more range on, and we can have another look at it then. See you in a minute. So looking at our IF19 on its lowest mode, I'll just put a picture in where I am. Upper level, high, not turbo. Very throwy, isn't it? And down the side of this lake, and then where's my button? Turbo. Is the camera focused? Yeah, there we go. That's pretty decent, isn't it, for such a tiny little thing? And you come back closer, it's absolutely blasting that. One click takes us back to where we were, which is high. And that's probably perfectly adequate, isn't it, for these kind of moderate type distances? It's moderate. That's reaching out there. And then turbo. Next. See it! And the next one. And turbo. That was some chap. He was stopped and had a chat with me about, what are you doing? Lighting up the place like a Christmas tree, with his daughter trying to catch some fish apparently. Really pleased with it. Thanks very much, folks.